CyberTech, run it up, run it up. Started from the bottom, now my search on the wall. Late nights, cold tight, never dropping the ball. At Guardian Academy, they show me the way. Now I'm counting up these figures every single day. Got my certs, now I'm up. Can't you see? 6 figures in the bank, all things.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to CyberTech Guardian Academy. I'm Prince. I'll be your instructor for this CompTIA Security Plus course. Now, my goal is to guide you through the world of cybersecurity fundamentals and best practices as we embark on this journey, covering everything you need to know in order to be prepared to pass your Security Plus exam, and more importantly, to build a strong foundation for a career in cybersecurity. Now, let's dive in and start with a very simple question. Why does this Security Plus certification matter? So in today's increasingly digital world, cybersecurity is not just a technical requirement. It's a critical business imperative. Organizations from large to small to everywhere in between face rising frequencies and complexities of cyber attacks each and every single day, with potentially devastating financial and reputational damage. Now, you may be asking, well, what does that have to do with the Security Plus exam? Well, first, the Security Plus certification acts as a benchmark of your skills. The majority of employers use certifications to filter candidates during the hiring process. So right now, you can literally go on LinkedIn, search for a job in the field of cybersecurity. It could be SOC analyst, it could be cybersecurity engineer, cybersecurity architect. Select any one of those job recs and scroll down to the requirements, and you're going to see certifications. For example, the U.S. Department of Defense mandates the CompTIA Security Plus for particular IT positions. I myself was employed by a DoD agency, and my position required a CISSP. Now, it's a little more advanced of a certification, but it is included in our fast track list to get you into the 6-figure range in your cybersecurity career. So what these certifications actually indicate on your resume is essentially it signals to employers that you do have the verified baseline of cybersecurity knowledge and skills to complete the task that the role may demand. And second, preparing for the Security Plus certification deepens your theoretical and practical understanding of key security concepts. So it's not just about passing the exam. It's about gaining robust hands-on knowledge. Think of this certification as both a goal and a learning process. So as you listen to this course, I encourage you to configure test networks, practice identifying threats, and truly understand the why behind each concept. Preparing in this way ensures that by the time we're done with this course, you're certified and you're not only test ready, but also job ready. Basically, don't aim just to pass the exam. Aim to absorb and apply the knowledge. So, as I said, set up a home lab, experiment with security tools, and connect each concept that we discuss in this course to real world scenarios. If you understand why a security measure exists and why it's applied, you'll be far more effective in the field when you actually do land that 6-figure role. Now, another suggestion as we go through this course, there are a lot of different learning styles, and on cybertechguardian.com, we actually have course material, practice exams, and downloadable content that you can use to assist you in your study journey. So head over to cybertechguardian.com and subscribe for exclusive video content that we update daily. Now, the CompTIA Security Plus SY0 701 exam covers several core domains of cybersecurity knowledge. In our journey, each major domain is going to correspond to a chapter. So let's break down how the exam is weighted across each domain. Now, the first domain in our first chapter is going to be general security concepts, which covers about 12% of the exam. Now, in chapter 1, general security concepts, we're going to discuss topics like foundational principles and security controls. Next, in chapter 2, we have threat vulnerabilities and mitigations, and this domain covers 22% of the exam. In chapter 2, we're going to go over types of attacks, threat attackers, weaknesses, and how to counter them. Now, the next chapter, chapter 3, is security architecture, which is 18% of the exam. And there we'll cover designing secure networks, systems, and infrastructures. So the next domain, chapter 4, is security operations, which covers 28% of the exam. And that's going to go over your day-to-day security practices like monitoring, incident response, and operational security tasks. Finally, the fifth domain of the Security Plus exam is security program management and oversight. And that's going to cover 20% of the exam. And here you're going to find topics like governance, risk management, compliance, and security leadership. Now, as we go through the course and we go chapter to chapter, we're going to zero in on each of these domains. And we'll break down complex topics into digestible modules by using real-world examples and case studies to bring the theories to life. And also I'll highlight practical exercises that you can try on your own. Now, some chapters may be a bit lengthy, so at the end of each chapter, we're going to summarize all the key points. And occasionally, I may prompt you with a question or a scenario just to test your understanding. And when we get to those questions, you can pause the video, take some time to think about it, maybe rewind the video and make sure that you're actually testing your understanding. And by you going back and reviewing and actually engaging with the course, it's going to reinforce learning and mirror how you'll use the knowledge in a real world situation. So make sure you're using this course effectively, and I have a few steps that are going to help you do just that. So if you subscribe to cybertechguardian.com, you'll see at the beginning of each chapter a self-assessment. But if you're just following along with the course, that's fine as well. Just look over the Security Plus syllabus. I'll have a link in the description that you can use to go to CompTIA.com and download the syllabus and create a self-assessment of your own based on the key terms indicated in each domain. This is going to allow you to gauge your current knowledge and actually know which areas you feel confident in and which seem completely new. Also, create a study plan. Cybersecurity is a vast field and consistency is key. So what you want to make sure that you're doing is allocating regular study time for each domain. Keeping in mind that some domains might require extra time to study or more time than others. For example, many people may find cryptographic concepts or risk management theory a little more challenging. So make sure you plan accordingly. The next suggestion is just engage actively with the material. As I mentioned before, at cybertechguardian.com, you're going to find all the material that you need. And as you listen to this course and read through the course material, don't just passively listen or read. Take notes in your own words. Try sketching diagrams of the network or the processes that we're discussing. And also ask questions. If you have questions, put it in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer all the questions that you may have. Make it a habit of questioning why something is true and seek out those answers. It's like if we're discussing firewalls, ask yourself, why does this firewall work better in this certain scenario? And if you need help setting up your own home lab environment to test out concepts, configure small networks or implement firewall rules, I'm creating a video that I'll link in the description below as well. That'll walk you through the process of creating that lab and show you which tools you need to download and install. Now, granted, the Security Plus isn't a hands-on lab exam, but practical familiarity will cement concepts in your mind and make the exam scenarios easier to visualize when you do get to the point of actually scheduling your exam and sitting to complete it. And finally, review and repeat. Periodically, make sure that you revisit the earlier topics. Cybersecurity concepts build upon one another. So understanding basic network security is going to definitely help you when we discuss complex architectures later. See this course in the guide that's available on cybertechguardian.com as your companion on your journey to becoming Security Plus certified. It's definitely designed for flexibility, so whether you're self-studying or you're supplementing a class, you'll definitely find value here. And also keep in mind, cybersecurity is an ever-evolving field. So use this certification journey experience as a launch pad. Even after you pass the exam, stay curious. Continue reading, practicing, and learning, because the threat landscape certainly isn't taking any days off. Now, before we get into our first domain, I want to give you some motivation. Let me share a quick real-world example just to underline why this certification and the knowledge that you're going to learn from this course really matters. So in 2017, the WannaCry ransomware attack struck hundreds of thousands of computers across 150 countries. Now, this ransomware attack caused massive disruptions all across the world. You had hospitals in the UK that literally had to turn away patients. Shipping companies and manufacturers literally ground to a halt. Now, I bring this story up because I want you to imagine being a security professional. Now, with the knowledge that you're going to gain from this course and studying for your Security Plus, you would understand what ransomware is, how it propagates, and how to respond to that sort of attack. Security Plus certified professional at that time would have been equipped to grasp the nature of the attack and contribute to mitigating its impact. This example only underscores that the concepts we'll cover aren't just academic. They're here to prepare you for real incidents that organizations face. So by committing to study for this course and adopting a continuous learning mindset, you're not just preparing for the exam. You're building a foundation for a career that's going to require ongoing curiosity and adaptation. So keep that inquisitive and proactive attitude as we embark on this journey. Let's get started on our first core domain, general security concepts. I'll see you in the next video.
Started from the bottom, now my search on the wall. Late nights, cold tight, never dropping the ball.